done a speed workout without music in a really long time, probably months, if not like over a year. And also I haven't been doing a lot of speed workouts. Like I had a baby last year and I got into surfing last summer. But I've got this race coming up in about a month, and I haven't really done a lot of speed work. I'm doing a half marathon. So I got some 200s in this morning. It's nothing crazy, but I did like about 2 miles worth of 200s. And I did it all without music, and that's the first time that I've done that. My GPS watch died about pretty much halfway through my warm-up. I cannot get that thing to charge. I need to get a new charger for it. But I brought my old stopwatch with me. It's actually my surfing stopwatch. And it's just a really simple, like with a timer stopwatch. And surprisingly, I hit all my goal paces that I wanted to hit. And sorry, I just had to merge over. I hit all my goal paces that I wanted to hit, which was about 42 seconds. So I hit all my times between 40 and 43 seconds. It was fine. Surprisingly, because I wasn't listening to all this like upbeat, amped up music, my workout felt much calmer. Like I was still pushing myself, but I didn't feel that like adrenaline spike that comes from listening to like raging music. I've just been trying to limit my use of technology. I know I'm on my phone right now, but now that it's the new year, I've gotten off social media temporarily, and Facebook and Instagram, not YouTube, but I've gotten off of social media temporarily, and I'm just trying to like limit my use of technology somewhat. So this was my first unplugged run in a while where there was no music. I didn't use my GPS watch. I just used my stopwatch, and it was so peaceful, and I was so much more present in my body. I was like listening to my breathing, checking in with myself, like actually like seeing how much effort that it was taking me, as opposed to just like listening to a song and then pushing really hard and then dying because that wasn't a real effort. That was just me listening to a song. So I felt like I was really more in touch with my body. So that's me running unplugged. I also ran alone on the track this morning, and I know that it's probably a little bit weird to like somebody that's watching, to just see somebody like running circles alone by themselves. But I feel like that makes me a stronger runner, that I can keep my pace going alone and I can run my own race, specifically without music, although I typically do race with music just because it motivates me. So that's something I feel like as a mom, like I have a young toddler, I'm not going to run clubs, I'm not prioritizing. It's not that I wouldn't like to run with people, but I'm not prioritizing the social aspect of running right now in my life. I'm really prioritizing the convenience of it, that it allows me to be with my family more than people that I prioritize the most in life. Not that I don't miss those old running friendships, but I just don't have a lot of time to go to run clubs right now. Which brings me to my third point, which is running confidently and without fear of what other people think. So I ran my workout on the track this morning at a high school track, and I am not a high school student. I'm actually 30 years old. I work at a college actually, so I might be able to pull off being a college student, but I know for a fact that I can't pull off being a high school student. And so it's one of those things that I think when I was younger, I used to get really embarrassed, and I used to feel ashamed of like working out in front of other people and like what are people going to think of me. But now that I'm a mom, I've kind of just taken this whole new mom energy of like, I'm old enough to be your mother and I really don't care. And I don't care what other people think of me like I used to. I think being pregnant and having a baby is just such a reality check. And I just wonder to myself, I thought about that this morning. I was like, how many people are not reaching their fitness goals or not doing the things they want to do because they're worried about what other people think of them, or that maybe it's not socially acceptable to, work out a certain way after a certain age, or if you don't look a certain way. For instance, I work out on my lunch break sometimes. I get like an hour lunch break, and there's a shower at my office, thank goodness. And, I criticize me in their own mind, when I know in my heart that I'm doing what's best for myself and for my family and for my mental and physical health. And I would rather be judged by the group, so to speak, because I don't want to go along with what everyone else is doing, because everyone else is sick and miserable. Not everyone else, but you know what I mean? Like, the majority of Americans are dealing with depression and health issues and mental health issues. So I would rather be judged by those people for doing, quote unquote, the wrong thing. So that's just sort of my take on why, I feel like we should be able to run confidently in our bodies and do what works for us and not worry about what other people think. Running unplugged, oh my gosh, I love listening to music and podcasts on runs, and I'm not judging anyone that likes to listen to music on a run, because it does get lonely and it makes the time go by, especially on like a long run where you're running like lots of miles. I can only think so many thoughts. Actually, that's not true. I can think and overthink. Sometimes I just want to turn my brain off. But there is something to be said for being alone with your thoughts, having that peaceful quiet in the morning or whenever you run, and just being unplugged from technology and really being present in your own body and being present in nature, and looking around you and really like feeling your feelings and feeling your body and feeling the run. So that's my challenge to you today, is run unplugged, run confidently and without judgment or fear of what other people think. Sorry, I'm just badging into my garage here. Run confidently, run unplugged, and run alone if you need to. And don't let anyone else's criticism or fear of what other people think stop you from reaching your goals. So I hope you all have a great Monday, and I'll see you in the next video.